Welcome, everybody, to the PPP show. This is the fourth episode, number 4. We have Diego Rodriguez and Will Morris, and we're going to be talking about some really interesting things today. We were talking about how would you describe it? The big vending machine. Like what would be the best? What would be the best way of putting it? Convenience buying? No.
Well, kind of. I mean, it's the evolution of retail.
So this is what we were talking about. Walmart used to be you go to the store, you pick your stuff out, and then you leave, right? Will was telling me that his family, of all the food that they have to get and all the things that they have to get to the store, rather than going through the aisles and spending 3 hours, 4 hours in one store, his wife just picks everything up online. She shops everything online. And boom, done. Easy. She pulls up to the Walmart's parking lot. She opens up the trunk. They load it in, and she's gone. Not even 20 minutes in the parking lot. And then as well with who did you say? Sam's, right?
Sam's, Costco, one of them. Yeah.
Sam's or Costco, where you walk the aisle and you scan with your device every single thing that you're getting. And when you go to the cashier, they don't have to do anything except just verify what you bought and then pay right there on your own device, on your phone. That's wild. And then finally, I was telling Will about how Jeff Bezos, when Amazon bought Whole Foods, when they had their new grocery store opened up, their new project, the carts themselves on the edges of the rim had cameras. So when you picked up a device, when you picked up a product and you put it in the actual cart, it will scan the Q card or scan the IME code, and it will literally just count it for you. And if you took it out, it will remove it on your list, the cart itself. And for those of you listening right now, think about in the past 90 years how that changed. 90 years, not even 100 years, in the past 90 years. That is phenomenal. That is crazy.
I'm 34, so I remember as a kid. I mean, so let's take it even, just 24 years ago, 20 years ago, being 10, 14 year old. I remember literally going to the store, going in, you shop, you go down the aisles, walking there, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. I mean, like evolution, man, evolution of retail and convenience. And, everybody's so busy nowadays. I think you get a division. So you got like everybody, and this is probably getting way off topic, but from what I see is like everybody's going like super, super busy, super convenient, like super don't have time for anything, and then you got this other groove that is like we're, like getting away, what I'm saying, like unplugging, what I'm saying, like there's this huge division, and sometimes they skip Scott, like people that do this that are like, super, super convenient, don't have time for anything, when, a lot of times they like to vacate on the other side. And so I don't know, just things I'm seeing, like even
what kind of example would you categorize for each one? So for example, the person that loves just convenience, who doesn't have time for that kind of stuff, that kind of person would do what? Not go to the store, not walk the aisles for 3 hours. They'll just go online, buy it, either ship it to their house or have it ready for them. Is that a good example?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be, we all know that person that, everything's online, everything's ordered.
I am that person. I am that person. Everything's online.
But at the same time, though, like me, I do that stuff as well. But I also enjoy a good fishing trip, a good slow down, go out and go fishing. Maybe a hunting trip or just getting away for a minute. So I mean, it's. I don't know. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. I mean,
you know what? It really, crazy would be a good word to describe it. I would throw in the word, it is a fascinating thing to witness right now. I mean, just the sheer amount of changes, of modifications, of optimizations.
Exactly. And I tell my wife this all the time, like, and hopefully she don't see this.
Hopefully she sees this.
I tell her, I say, look, the best thing you can do as a human being a lot of times is just step back, take the blinders off, and just watch. Like watch people, watch their interactions, watch their actions, watch their interactions, watch their emotions, watch their reactions, watch people, watch their migration, just study, step back for a minute and just study people, observe. That's exactly right. Observe. take yourself out of your, people get so caught up in the hustle and the bustle and
Yeah, they get
like
into those
and all
blinders
those
get
shit.
caught on.
Oh my God. I got to get up. I go to a job, I work, I get done working. I got to get home. I got to get the kids ready for baseball. We have baseball. We get back. We have a bath. You go in we get a shower. Then we go into bed. We read a story. We do it over and over and over. It's Groundhog Day every fucking day for a lot of stuff. And the best thing I think a human being can do, especially in today's economy with all this changing going on and craziness, whether it's political or economical or, in real estate or investing or in stock market, all this crazy stuff that's going on. I swear, I think the best thing you can do sometimes is just pause, remove yourself, and let's take an outside perspective and observation of everybody and everything that's going on. And you learn so much. You learn so much.
Oh, yes. Well, that's science. I mean, that's science. Science is the study and observation of the things around us. And how can we calculate it and put complex theories and designs into very simple mannerisms of explaining something to somebody. You know what? I just butchered it. I am so sorry. I was trying to remember a sentence of a book that I read to sound smart. I completely threw that off the back. I'll admit it, man. I'll admit it. So let me rephrase it. When I do like how you said it, observe when you see it happening and you take a step back, you get a different perspective, and a perspective change that can make the difference of seeing a blue ocean to a red ocean. You know that concept.
Absolutely.
Just look at Netflix. Had Blockbuster had the observational awareness to see that they were actually scaling at a way that nobody would have been able to predict, they could have bought Netflix at $50 million when they offered to sell them to them. Imagine Blockbuster bought Netflix. And instead of that, they said, no, there's nothing that Netflix does or can offer that we can already do or are doing already. That was the mindset.
Or even if, because I understand acquisition and the big cost, a lot of times the money gets in, the money between the mines, so to speak. But at least they should have understood their model and said, well, what if? I guarantee you there was somebody
understand the model
in the board of executives or inside the company of Blockbuster somewhere. I guarantee you there was somebody that said, you know what? They may be on to something.
You know what? Probably. I guarantee there probably was somebody like that.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, they didn't have enough observation. They didn't have enough outside perspective, and they didn't have enough wherewithal to basically say, you know what? What if? And I think that's the biggest thing. Like people get in the zones.
Anticipation.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, on a tangent there of our
that's why I love this show, man, because we always let it flow. That's what it's about. We let it flow. So on to the topic for today. Product ladders. Okay. A product ladder.
Explain it.
Every business has a variety of services or products that they offer. And those services and products range in different prices. For example, Starbucks has a $3 to $5 to $10 coffee, and they also sell a $300 to $3,000 espresso machine, right? So the ladder is how you will see the numbers. $3 on the lowest, $5 for the coffee, $15 for the coffee bean, $300 for the espresso, $3,000 for the premium espresso machine. So that will be a product ladder. Every business has one. Another example will be a dentist. You go into a dentist for what are they called? Checkups, right?
Or even just a complimentary.
Or complimentary cleaning. I think that's what it is, a cleaning.
Yeah.
They clean your teeth.
Free. Yeah.
There you go. Boom. They get you in with that small initial price range. And then they'll tell you, hey, by the way, we noticed that your teeth are shifting. You need braces or you need some kind of retainer. Also, your teeth are incredibly, they're really colored. They're pigmented. They have yellow stains. They have brown stains. We recommend giving you a white cleaning treatment. So now it went from a free cleaning to a $1,000 pair of braces and a $800 cleaning program. That is a product ladder for a dentist, essentially.
Yeah, so like as like a stair, because
stairs. Like stairs.
they call it ladder, but I mean,
Product
that's just
ladder, yeah, or the value ladder. That's another one. The value ladder.
you know, it helps me to think of like stairs, you know, like entry level product, or like what they call a tripwire, something free, something low, something. It's a low commitment,
Low barrier of entry.
low barrier of entry from the consumer, meaning that it's typically like a no brainer, easy in, out, free, whatever. You know, a lot of times they're free or low cost. You know, not, you know, no commitment, and then like you said, they step you up in price based off value, and so that's the reason why it's value ladder, but value stair, value ladder. So anyway, it helps me to think of like a stair, because it does kind of stair step up in the visual of one of those. So anyway,
there's always it's an ascending model. That's really what it is.
Product offer, yeah.
It's an ascending model. You start from the beginning. And the other word, excuse me, the other word that I wanted to throw in there, Will, was not only is a low barrier of entry or low commitment, but it doesn't require so much motivation on the end of the buyer. So for example, if you're trying to sell somebody a $4,000 product, they need to have a high motivational drive in order to pay $4,000 or 40,000 or 4 million, however you want to equate it. A low motivated person or a low motivated buyer would be somebody that says, it's $1 for this drink. That's nothing. There it is, $1. That's on your model. It's one of the lowest pieces of your model, $1 drink. But to them, it didn't seem like such a big deal, as opposed to them having to buy a $300 dinner. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So the motivation is a big part. Like for you, for example, in the real estate, if you're trying to get some guys to go on a deal with you for $2.7 million on a 200 plus unit, you need them to be highly motivated, highly driven. They need to be 100% committed to do that deal. But if you're trying to get somebody to just give you $10 to survey somebody's land, it's not such a big deal. It's not that much of a motivation factor. So I want to talk to the people right now, primarily about what they are doing wrong with their product ladders, what they are doing right with their product ladders, and what they can do to improve it. So what's good, what's right, and what can be done better. Now, what do you think, Will? I don't think we really need to go that deep into a industry, but let's stick with what we know. So
I'll tell you something right off the bat that comes to mind when you say that is, and I'm speaking from experience because I do this as well, is I'm a little too ethical in my offers, meaning that I'm afraid to give that big upfront offer, thinking that it's kind of like a white lie, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why that's important is because in the terms of like a tripwire or a initial offer, you want a big offer with a, you know, it's like a no-brainer. It's like, hey, look, click this link and you'll get $1 million. Well, that's a no-brainer, right? You know, it's almost clickbait. What do they call it? Clickbaitish.
Clickbait.
Well, it's almost clickbaitish is what it is. But in reality, you have to have that behind your offer to get people to act. You know what I'm saying? Like, as stupid as it sounds, if I was to put an ad out right now and it said, click this link for a chance to win $1 million, you know how many people I would have clicked that?
Yeah, I mean, just the chance, the opportunity to get in there.
But my thinking is like, I'm really not going to give anybody $1 million. Nobody here is really going to get a chance, even a chance at $1 million. So I would never run that ad, right? Because it's a little spamish, and I'm like, you know, it's not exactly true. It's kind of unethical the way I'm doing it. You know,
it's the bait and switch.
It's the bait and switch, exactly. But at the end of the day, when you study some of the greats, you know, Grant Cardone is a phenomenal marketer.
Absolutely.
But if you really analyze a lot of his offers are this really big bait and switch. Like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's like, click this link and I'll teach you, I'll personally show you how to raise $3 million to do your next apartment deal. He's not personally showing you. He may personally show you through a video on YouTube that's shared to everybody that signs up and pays $9.97.
Yeah.
But it's not him personally saying, hey, I'm going to personally one-on-one. And so the biggest thing I see that people do is they don't go.
That doesn't feel ethical. Hearing it out loud, hearing it out loud, I would agree with you. It doesn't feel ethical when somebody
How many
promises you
people
one
do you
thing.
see do that though? How many people you see, especially in
Oh,
internet marketing?
everywhere, especially now. Hey, give me your email and I'm gonna send you this package that's gonna show you how to make $20,000 in the
Free,
next 2 months
free plus
for
shipping.
free. Yeah, free plus shipping.
Free
Our
plus
book is
shipping.
gonna go to you for free. Just pay the shipping to go to your house. Like,
I'll tell you right now, I wrote a book. I can get that Amazon. I can get that book published and sent anywhere in the world through Amazon for $2.15. And so when you see these free plus shipping, like, hey, I'm going to pay for the book, you just pay for shipping $7,997. They're making $5 off every sale of that book. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
right.
that's the whole structure behind the free plus shipping is that $5 pays for the campaign.
Yeah.
It pays for the marketing, right?
The
And so
buyer pays for the marketing, the buyer
bottom
pays for the
line,
taxes, and the
bottom
buyer
line,
pays for the gross revenue.
paying for every bit of it, and it's
Yes.
automated too, and so it's scalable, and that's the reason why
And
you
it's
see.
automated as well. 24/7, it's out there and it's running like a machine.
Yeah. And so, I mean, if we're going to really have this show and really give up the golden nuggets and the nuts and bolts of it, I mean, that's what it is. Like, so if anybody sees hey, here's my book I wrote, and I'm paying for the book, you just pay for the shipping. Understand that book only costs about $2 to print and to ship. So
The one that I love is when they tell you, I'm going to ship you an ebook. Oh, great.
Oh yeah.
Oh, phenomenal.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying is like at the end of the day, a lot of this marketing and stuff, I would not say deception, but I would say what's that like the shy of the hand, or what do they call that? Like magician.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. It's a sleight of the hand. It's a sleight of the hand is what it is. And so you have two choices. You can bitch about it or you can lean into it. I think this is a common theme of the way I think about a lot of stuff is you can either bitch about it, moan and groan and cry about it, that everybody's doing this and doing that, or you can lean into it. And you know what? Jump in. If you're a company, jump in and start doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like create a PDF, you know how easy it is to go out and research or even pay somebody to research and get you 7 or 8 articles that are 10 12 pages a piece. Next thing you know, you've got a 97-page brochure or pamphlet that's very niche specific, driven or whatever, very value
and accurate. And it's accurate.
It's real factual information. Yeah. No, you didn't write it, but you could take it and you could put it into a form and talk about how you found this, or this is a guide that you found and put together. And next thing you know, you're putting that out there and you say, hey, anybody interested in foundation repair? Check out this survival guide or
the 10 things that commonly happen, the
whatever,
10 things that you need to figure out.
This survival guide that I created. So like if I'm a foundation guy, a foundation repair guy, I got the machines, I dig and put the shit on there and make it waterproof and all that stuff. And I say, you know what? If you've been looking, if you have foundation problems, here is the most common, I've put together the 20 most
overlooked problems
or the 20 ways to solve the problem without hiring a contractor.
Boom. There you go. The 20 solutions to the one problem.
You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing is 9 times out of 10, they're going to download that. They're going to look at it. They're going to read it, and they're going to understand that it's a very complicated process, and they're going to understand that they need a contractor. Guess who the hell they're going to come back to? Mr. Expert that shared them a free.
I was about to say that word. The expert who provided them the information to make a purchase decision.
For free. Like that is modern marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like if people don't understand that from a business standpoint, if anybody's watching any of these shows, if they have a small business, medium business, it don't matter if they're in business, if they're looking to make a freaking dollar, if they don't understand that concept right there, they're not going to survive. Like that's the basics of modern business and marketing.
That's the shift. More importantly, it's the shift. That's what I've been noticing. A lot of people will say, oh, well, the old school marketing still works. I can still make it happen. I can still get things happening and leads coming in. Great. However, you're not utilizing and optimizing the shift in technology, the shift in resources, the shift in attention. Where are people actually at?
I'll add to this. So it's even psychology. So people are looking for free expert advice. That's what people are looking for. Free expert advice. Yeah. And guess what happens when they get something that's free from an expert? that is advice that they read, and they understand that they don't know what the hell they're doing, and that they're way out of their league, and people read it and they understand the psychology that 90 freaking 9.9% of people in this world are lazy as shit. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to call the guy that sent them the free expert advice, because they are the free expert advice giver. And they're going to say, hey, I read your thing. It was really nice. I liked it. But, the thing is, it's just way over my head. How much would you charge to come fix my foundation? My shit's leaking. You know what? It's going to be $27,997. Fucking do it. Right. When can you be here?
You're the one who knows what to do, right? You're the expert.
There you go.
Another thing that you just brought up, and it made me think about it as you were saying it. It is the fact that you are the most well-known person for that buyer, for that client. Because, I mean, how many foundation people are out there in the world? I mean, thousands. However, for that one person, right, for that one ideal client, they didn't receive information from these people. They didn't receive any kind of help and expert advice, any opinion. They didn't receive any of that directly. The person that did send it to them, now they are above everybody else. Even if they might not be the best company, they are the most well-known at that moment for that client. They are out of obscurity.
Add to that, the reason why, and it's the positioning too. I don't know if anybody plays poker, but the best thing about poker is that exactly, like if it goes around, you're behind the dealer. It goes around. You got check, comes around to you. You know what? You're in position to make a blind bet or a blind, bluff, whatever, right? So same thing with this is that, think of it this way. If you're a homeowner, you get a mailer in the mail, physical mail comes to you, and it says, hey, foundation repair, we're the best, we're accredited, we're Better Business Bureau, That's an advertisement. Whether you are or not, the presentation, the positioning of that marketing is that you are advertising, right? Yes. I'm on there. I say, hey, I'm Will Morris. I'm not a business. I'm Will Morris. Or if I'm Will Morris from this business, and here's our free guide on the most 10 common ways to avoid hiring a contractor for your most costly foundation leaky ass repairs. Yep. And you download it and you read it. The positioning on that is not from a sense of marketing or promotion. It's from a sense of giving. Now
the word is intention. Your intention. That's exactly what it is. That's what it is. Keep going, Will. Oh my God, I'm feeling goosebumps.
I'm just saying that the law of reciprocity comes into place, whether you like it, love it, know it, or hate it. It's all implanted into us from an early age, that when somebody says thank you, you say welcome. When you hold a door, they hold a door for you. It's the law of reciprocity. And so now that you've given to them this free expert advice at no charge, that added value to them, that helped them, guess what they're likely to do? They're a hell of a lot more likely to call you and say, hey, thank you. I mean, I've done this. Like I'm speaking from experience. I do this with my small businesses every day from a marketing or promotion standpoint. And it's the only thing that I've ever done that I will literally do something or a campaign or something like that. And I'll get people to call me and say, hey, Will, thank you. Boom. For what? Boom. Thank you for giving me that information. It was so valuable, and it helped me understand the value that you bring and the reason why I'm willing to pay you 4 times more than anybody else without even checking anybody else's prices, without calling around and getting references, because I want you now, because you are the expert that gave me the free advice that was willing to help me with nothing in return.
Hallelujah. That's exactly it. That's right. That's right. You know who you just reminded me of? Jeff Bezos. Jeff motherfucking Bezos. Want me to tell you why? I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. I love Jeff Bezos you can only imagine the kind of things that he amassed to. Yeah. He said on an interview, they asked him, a panel of people asked Jeff Bezos, Mr. Bezos, why is Amazon so successful? Why didn't it go under? Why? Well, what is the secret sauce behind it? And he said one answer. He thought about it. He really wanted to make sure he chose his words precisely, and then he uttered these words that I would never forget. I actually have them written up there. The reason we are the best is because we help our customers with their purchase decision, with their buying decision. That's it. We help them with the buying decision. And the example he gave was the rating system in the books. He said, rather than just giving all of the books 5 stars, 4 stars, and only showing them the best, we wanted to be unbiased. We want to be 100% realistic on what it is that they're trying to get. So if the book rates a 1 and 500 people say that this book is a 1, we are going to show on the page exactly what it is. We're not going to hide anything. We're going to be very transparent. If people love this book, we're going to show it 30,000 5 stars on this book. And that differentiated the difference in business of how he made his money. He helped his customers with their purchase and their buying decisions. What you just talked about, Will, was right on the line. You help this person with their purchase decision by showing them the 10 things that they need to figure out. You show them the things that they need to avoid. And more importantly, you made it aware to them. They might not even be aware that this was a problem. That is helping a purchasing decision. So that intention absolutely activates the law of reciprocity. You help me out in that big way, I'm definitely going to go back in your favor. And if not me, I'll find somebody or I'll refer you to other people that could be in your line. That's fantastic.
The simplest way I like to put it, from especially from, like I said, like from a business in reality, I mean, because a lot of this stuff can get really complicated and sophisticated and whatever. The biggest way I like to place it is well, two reasons just come to mind. But the first thing I was going to say is that, like, you know, how can I solve a problem for others? You know what I'm saying? For free. Like, how can I solve a problem for somebody else? But then another thing,
the
especially
entrepreneur right there,
especially like the foundation. If you're in a service provider, the best thing you can do is produce content or to give out information.
Yes.
That, like, if I'm a contractor, the best thing I can do is to show people, teach people, give people information that's going to keep them from having to hire a contractor. You need to think of this old house, not, hey, I'm a contractor, let me fix your shit. You remember that series, This Old House?
Yeah,
you remember
This Old House? Yeah, I saw it. HGTV.
He would show you how to caulk a straight line. He would show you how to, fix a leaky faucet. He would show you how to replace a fluorescent light bulb that was 8 feet in the air. He would show you how to hang a chandelier that won't fall down on your dinner table. Like, that's the shit that you need to do.
Yes.
And if you do that, you will be a wealthy, wealthy person in your space. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think that works with, like I said, like with service based, you know what I'm saying? Like, depending on what you are. But, some of the stuff that I do, like with raising capital and stuff like that, I can't really show people how to raise capital without, it's a little, but if you can solve a problem for people, I literally was on a conversation today with a good friend of mine. And she told me that she has a group out of New York that has $200 million powder and is deal hungry. Ooh. So what do I do from an entrepreneur standpoint? I've got a problem. I need to solve it. Call me Mr. Fix It. Where's Wreck-It Ralph? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get in there and get it done. And so what do? They are dry powder, need a deal. And so what I do, I go out and I get on a horn. I start finding deals. Let's round up the deals. At the end of the day, we're all problem solvers. And if you can show people how you can, don't just show them, do it. Actually freaking solve a problem. The biggest thing I see is the mentality in a lot of people is they have this, this fear of, like, especially in small business, they have this fear of like missing a sale or something like that. They have a fear of giving away their golden nuggets. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't want to give away my special sauce. Like, it's something, oh, it's mine. That's what I charge for. But I'm telling you, that's the thing. Like, the world has changed. Like, if you literally give away your best and biggest secret, you will be repaid tenfold, of what you would be by keeping it. It's crazy as shit. I don't understand it half the time.
Transparency in 2021 has been rated one of the highest. What is the word? One of the highest principles a business should strive for: being transparent.
I understand that for sure.
I want to tie this up to the product ladder, because what you were talking about, essentially, it lines up with the low barrier of entry level. The beginning part. What we just talked about was essentially, for you guys listening, the beginning part of the value ladder, the low barrier of entry, how you can push out your information, how you can share your knowledge, how you can explain to your community, to your clients, what kind of value you can provide and what kind of problems that you can solve. That is essentially the baseline. And this is universal. This is universal. I mean, it doesn't matter which industry that you're in. You can be in healthcare to tech, right? This applies to the bottom. So let's move on to the next stage, which would be the ascension to the next level. So let's stick to what we really know. That way we don't go too crazy. So Will, what have you seen afterwards with either your businesses or some of your businesses friends that have really done well? Like what kind of things have you seen? For example, I'll give you one of mine. Russell Brunson. Love the man. Phenomenal. I actually learned the value ladder from Russell Brunson. His books, his .com secret book, the Expert Secrets book, his trilogy, that is such an easy way to give it to somebody. And then inside, if you want to utilize it, you use the funnels, you use the software his SaaS company provides. I mean, I thought about them like how ingenious, right? Here's my book. It's going to show you everything you need to know about how to make your offers, how to place your products, how to get traffic, how to make sure you have an irresistible offer. And if you want to apply it with the software, that's the best software in the world right now in this aspect, use ClickFunnels. And sure enough, it turns and it turns and it turns and it turns. And if you look at his emails, the first thing that you see on the bottom of the email letter is a low barrier of entry. Do you want a book? Yes. Do you want a program? Yes. Do you want the software? Yes. And it's cascading. So I thought that was a really good example. So what have you seen as well?
Similar, but just to add to that real quick is that if you really want to get the nuts and bolts behind like Russell Brunson stuff, you need to study Chet Holmes. Have you read any of his books?
Oh, Chet Holmes, absolutely.
Yeah, I love Chet Holmes, sales machine, stuff like that. So a lot of stuff like what Russell does is I really think he kind of regurgitates a lot of what these original guys said between Chet Holmes and Gene.
He arranged it all together.
But he puts it in a modern tense. I will say that. And so, he puts it into modern times. So here's what I will say. When you think of a ladder or stairs, you think of multiple steps. When you're getting started with this concept, think of 3 steps. The first one is you do it. I'm going to show you how, but you do it. The next step would be I'm going to help you do it. Okay? So it's like now that you know how to do it, or you read my book, for example, and now you're wanting a little bit more and you're needing just a little bit of help at getting started. So the next step will be I'm going to help you do it. And the third step is we're going to do it for you. So take like marketing, for example. I can show you can watch a course for $299, $297. Watch a course, learn how to do all my tricks and everything that I teach you, everything that I'm going to show you everything.
And do it yourself.
Right. And you watch it. And you're like, you know what, this is really great, but I just have a few more questions. There's just some stuff that I need, right? And so you're like, well, I'm going to the next thing is say $997. $997 is they're going to help me, with a sort of interaction. It's not a lot of time interaction, but you already know it. So now we're just going to kind of help you. So call that a little bit of like a group coaching, right? So that's group coaching. Here's what we're going to show you how to do in a group setting. Everybody's kind of got, and
they
then
help you with the strategy, the blueprints. They help you with the overall plan.
You're going to go further in depth, and they're actually going to give you some more in-depth tactics that you don't have to, really discover along your way or do yourself. And that group coaching may even include like some templates that are kind of like, already ready for you. And then the third phase is you're saying, you know what? I watched the videos. I went through the course. I went through the group coaching. This is something I just don't have the time for. How much would it cost, since you're the expert, how much does it cost for you just to do it for me? And I'll say, look, $19,997, we're going to take care of it for you. We'll do everything. All you need to do is give us, the creative that we're asking for, and we'll handle everything else. You know what? Perfect. That is an example of a very simple, escalate.
Very effective. Very effective.
Very simple. Very.
I want to compress it into a one line. So it's done. Do it yourself. DIY. You ascend it to do it with you. Done with you.
Yep.
And then finally ascend it to done for you. Boom. There it is. Think about it. A dentist. Do it for yourself. A dentist puts out information videos, how to floss, how to brush my teeth. Boom.
Yep.
Second one, done with me. He's gonna. How would that look? Done with
come
me.
in for a free consultation. Come in. Not for. Sorry, not come in for a free. But I would say
come in for a complimentary cleaning.
complimentary, or like a $29.99, you know, just very
a low barrier offer. Yeah.
A little something, because you're wanting a little bit more of a commitment from them, because if they're coming in for free, they may not be willing to pay, you know, and in this industry, they, you know, in the marketing industry, they say the best way to judge a buyer is by their credit card. You know, if they're willing to spend $5, they're willing to spend 500. If they're willing to spend 100, they're willing to spend 10,000.
They'll buy more of the same thing they'll buy.
Exactly. And so this right here, I would give away a dentist. I would give away free cleaning tips. I would give a TikTok is on freaking fire.
On fire. Look at my hands on fire.
If I was a dentist or doing something like that, and a lawyer, I mean, in our office here, my neighbor over here, he's an attorney. And I'm not mentioning it to him, but I swear, if he's not doing TikToks right now about free attorney advice. So anyway, I'm just saying, let's go back to dentist. So free floss.
So floss your teeth, you brush. So that's free, done for yourself. And then done with you, what would that look like?
And then I would say, look, if you're in the Knoxville, Tennessee area and you're watching this right now, out of appreciation, I want to offer to you a $29.99 cleaning in my office, where we're going to go through, and I'm going to, you know, everything that you've been doing. I'm going to gauge you on, not judge. I'm going to gauge you on how well you've been implementing the tactics that I've been showing you over the past videos. Come in, let me show you, let me experience with you, and it's a complimentary regular, not $97.99. I'm going to give it to you for $27. Come on in. When they're in there too. You're talking to them. Now you have a connection. Man, I can't believe you found me via TikTok. I can't believe that's so cool. You know what? That's awesome. You know what? Next thing you know, you get talking, man, you know, just like you said at the beginning, you know, after you're cleaning, here's what we found, you know, just give you a little review. I want to show you what we got. And then you go into it. You break it down for them. Say, look, you know, I did notice a few spots that look like some cavities. I did see a couple places that could probably, you know, you maybe looking at a crown. You know, that's
teeth are shifting.
Teeth are shifting. You know, there's something you may have to look at. You know, there is one thing that I did have concern with, is that, you know, it looks like you were, you know, you got a little bit of a yellowing issue that we could adjust with the whitening. And, you know, so I just want to bring a few of these things to your attention.
And your gums are bleeding.
And your gums are bleeding. So I think that our 12-month, you know, monthly visit package would take care of that. Would be highly effective for all these issues. So would you be interested in signing up for an annual plan with us?
The client cannot do this themselves. They cannot put on the braces themselves. They cannot clean their teeth with that white pigment that those dentists have themselves. This is now a done for you. You pay the dentist and they will take care of your crowning. They will take care of your teeth being shifted. They'll take care of your pigmentation. They'll take care of your gums, and they'll take care of your actual dental hygiene.
Yeah. And
that
you know what,
is how you apply it for this situation.
You want to package it as the dentist. You want to have that, you know, at the end of the day, everybody's a freaking salesman. I mean, let's just face it.
Yes.
But the thing is, you got to know how to package, present, and pitch. That's my PPP.
Okay, I like that. Package. Say it again. Package,
present,
and pitch. Package, present, and pitch.
That's my little. I use that with raising capital every day, all day. Is that, you know, you got to know how to package this. Okay, how are we going to package it? So if I was that dentist in that scenario, I would thank them for coming in, show them gratitude. I appreciate you coming in, appreciate you watching my videos. But here's what we did find. I would give them the package. Hey, look, you know, I see tartar, I see bloody gums, I see the fact that you got some teeth shifting, and I see the fact that you're not routinely coming in and seeing me. And so here's how I'm going to present this.
That's powerful. I see that you're not routinely coming in. So you're addressing a problem. You're addressing a real issue.
So what I did is I addressed all the issues. I packaged them, and now I'm going to present it. I'm going to say, here's what I'd like to do for you. Here's what I'd like to do for you. Since you come in from TikTok, since you come in and took us up on this offer, since I appreciate your value that you're bringing to my company and helping me grow what I'm trying to support here, what I'd like to do is I'd like to package, you know, remember package, present. Here I'm presenting the package now. Here's what I'd like to do for you. I'd like to set you up on our annual annual cleaning program. Every 30 days you come in, you get a cleaning. I'm going to set you up with my best go-to buddy. That's a what do they call when they do the braces? A orthodontist. That's an orthodontist.
Okay, orthodontist, yeah.
That's or maybe you are an orthodontist, whatever. Say, look, we're going to set you up with a complimentary, evaluation from them. I'm going to set you up. This I got a whitening program. It's normally $5.97. I can give that to you right now for $97. And then I'm also going to help you out with, if you refer a friend, I'm going to give you $20 off store, whatever. And I'm going to do all that for you for $97 a month. Does that sound good?
Boom.
What? Yeah, hell yeah.
And where did they come from? The last part
is actually giving them the dollar amount. I see so many. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I see so many people that are good, that they do a good job at packaging. They do a good job at presenting, but when it comes down to the money, they're like,
Why do you believe that they have a fear of asking for the money? I mean,
because it's a value proposition. They feel they have an underestimated value propositions. Bottom line is, like, if you right now had a brand new 2021 Corvette, loaded to the gills, whatever, $100,000 car, and you had it sitting in your garage right now for $20,000. I mean, and you could sell that for $20,000 right now. I mean, would you not tell everybody about it, and you wouldn't have a damn bit of problem? You call that, man, I got a $20,000
on sale, baby.
You want to come do it? Come buy this bitch today, right? It's the value proposition. Is that's the biggest thing, is people underestimate the value, and so they get nervous about the offer. And I don't know how to fix that. I'm not a psychologist, but at the same time, I think making offers is the biggest fix to making offers. Does that make sense? Like,
addressing the fact that they're bad at making offers until they get good. Is that what you mean?
Only way you understand a bad offer is by making an offer, right? If I consider and go over my head over and over and over and over again,
the market will tell you if it's a good or bad offer.
Exactly. So I say, Diego, I'll see you the rest of this beer right here for $10. And you're gonna look at that and say, hell no.
Okay, I like that one. That's a good example.
But I say, Diego, I tell you what, I like you, dude. I like you. I may not be a lot of things, but what I am.
Oh, shoot.
And I tell you what I'm going to do, because I would love to personally send you my signature autographed cup.
I'll pay you $30 for that. I'll pay you $30 for that.
Got my lick on it.
You're paying for the DNA and for the letter.
would you like to have that beer? The rest of this, fortunately, this cup is going to be worth millions of dollars one day, because I'm a professional. I'm exaggerating.
I wanna kindly interrupt you and make something known. What you just did was it's called a repackage. Okay, you showed them for example, for now the beer that was a little bit of alcohol in there. And you could not get $30 for it. If you try to sell it to somebody, hey, will you give me $30 for this cup? No, shit, get away from me. However, all you did was switch the packaging. Rather than it just being a regular cup of beer that you can get anywhere, this is now a one-of-a-kind, Will Morris signed, drank from cup. So it's still a cup of beer, but it's
completely to you right there. And you said something too. You said cup. Too many people focus on the beer inside the cup. It's not what's in the cup. It's the cup itself. It's the container, not the liquid. I can get beer anywhere. I can dump this shit out and go get me some more beer, right? But I only got one cup. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another thing too. So like you said it, when you said anybody can get a beer anywhere, they can get alcohol anywhere.
But they can't get that cup.
You can only get one signature cup. And so that's the thing too, is transitioning your mindset and your value proposition, and that's a thing that I see a lot of people not knowing how to do. Like, and I'm not saying I'm an expert by any means, but at the same time,
you're much better than a lot of people that I've seen.
I'm an expert. I'm just saying that, these are things that go back to the very beginning of this whole process when I said removing yourself from the situation,
Mm.
observing what people do. Like I didn't create that concept. You know what I'm saying? I learned that concept of the cup and the signing it and, you know, licking it, spitting on it, whatever. Like I learned that's a learned skill. That's
Mm.
not a natural or something that's, you know, come from me.
Well,
And
you
so
observed somebody doing it and you modeled what worked and you
yeah,
applied it and you modernized it to the conversation right now.
bottom line, it's the ability to, you know, learn, being teachable, being able to learn, being teachable, and then implementing. And
Mm.
then, you know, you need to have a little bit of like the on the fly shit to be able to implement it into whatever current scenario you have,
You
you know.
gotta be able to be resourceful. That's really what it is. You gotta be resourceful with what you got. You know
Yeah.
what? That reminds me, man. Right now, for the person, because guys, we're about to the show's about to end. We're already at the ending, so we're gonna move on to the summary.
Come on, man.
we're
Come
gonna we're
on.
gonna we're gonna
We all know.
summarize what we talked about and make sure that we adequately and concisely present it to you one last time so you can understand what it is that we talked about. Because me and Will, we go everywhere, but we have the line of where we're trying to reach to. And what I wanted to bring up right now is that the coronavirus, the COVID-19, the pandemic, however you want to label it, it was a monumental shift in the landscape of business. That's really, I mean, if that's not coming from me, that's coming from huge mega
Oh,
corporations.
facts, facts. Yeah, it
Facts.
changed, affected the world.
It affected the world, and the intention that we have behind this show and primarily this episode number 4 with the product ladder or the value ladder, however you want to describe it, is how are you going to modify your existing product ladder? If you have one already, if you don't have one, well, that's where you got to start. How do you modify it and optimize it for the current now? Not for the market that was in 2019, for the new market in 2021. That is the new perspective change that you have to keep in mind. I'll give you a great example. Businesses had office spaces. Office spaces had landlines, computers, utilities, vending machines, all of the different kind of environmental differences that you would have in an office space. And then what happened? Boom, no one can show up. What happened to all of those things? What happened to that equipment? What happened to those services? What happened to those products? It changed. You have to go online now. You have to work remotely. You have to have a reliable connection at home with a really good computer and an absolutely phenomenal phone to be able to make calls and to be able to receive calls. That little shift times every business that had to go through it is monumental. And now that we're coming back, and now that we're getting the vaccines, and now that we're actually getting out of this, there's going to be much more changes. So for you and your industry, number one, anticipate what's going to change. How do you anticipate? Observe. Like Will was saying, you need to observe what's going on. You got to find out who is in your space currently, who has left the space, so you know what not to do, and how can you apply those things, or how can you make something better. The second thing that you need to be very wary of is what worked previously, and is that still going to be able to work now? You have to be honest. You have to be honest. Where are you in your business model? Where are you in your business? How did it change and how is it not going to come back? And then lastly, how are you measuring these steps? How are you measuring the results? How are you measuring every single aspect? Because what you don't measure, you cannot improve. If you don't know what's working and you don't know what's not working, you won't be able to do any kinds of shifts or adjustments. So anticipate, you got to observe, and you need to be able to measure. What do you think, Will?
Yeah, only thing I would add is just getting very granular. You know, something to come to mind, like I don't know why when you were talking, but like restaurants, you know, they're
Mm.
struggling, and
Oh yeah,
so
bars,
tying
restaurants.
all this back together, like with the package, present, and pitch, um, you know, and the value ladder, you know, how you can tie all this together is like if you do get somebody that comes in to your restaurant, you know, let's do twofold here. One, if they walk in, you know, you get a walk in.
Mhm.
Like I think you should be having conversations with your staff about, you know, as soon as they're there, let's start, you know, progressing them up that ladder. Like you sit down and you say, hey, look, you know, what would you like to drink? Well, I'll take a water, you know, that's a great choice. Did I let you know, if you don't mind, I'd like to let you know about our drink specials. Boom, there's a value ladder. You're getting them on a beer.
Yes.
No, we're good. Okay. All right, fantastic. One more thing before I go. We have half price appetizers on this, and this. Which one? You, the cheese sticks sound really good. They're phenomenal. I'll be happy to bring them out to you. Give me just a moment. Boom. There's an upsell. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's the value ladder. It goes back to the package, the present, and the pitch. The another thing is on the phone call. Let's go that way. Like, or like, you know, the to-go orders, because that's a big thing now, you know, like takeout or whatever.
Huge.
Same thing. Like, they need to be calling. Hello, this is hello, Dos Bros, they're next door.
You had to look back. I love how you got the inspiration from your environment. Yes. Yes.
Hey, Bros, how are you doing? You know, can I help you with your order? Yeah, I'd like to place an order to go. That's fantastic. What can I get for you? I'd like a chimichanga and a
Sprite.
And a Sprite with I don't know, freaking hell, I'm trying to think. Carnitas. That's what I get all the time. Carnitas. With the Carnitas. Okay. That sounds great. I'd be happy to get that for you. Before you go, let me tell you real quick about or before you go, I'd like to tell you about our current specials. Or you can say it at the beginning, hey, this is Will. I'd like to tell you about our specials. Don't even give them a chance to place their, hey, this is Will with Dos Bros. I'd like to tell you real quick about our specials. Would you like to hear them? No, I just want to place an order. Are you sure they're half off? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. And so, you know, some of this just kind of goes back to, like, you know, I think a lot of these managers, it starts at the top. I really believe so. I really believe
it starts at the head. It always starts at the head.
But they need to bring themselves down to the like bring yourself down, you know, to the scenario of the actual call coming in, what's happening. You know, how can we get those value ladders? Like, the thing about a value ladder is that from the moment that they take in on the previously, you know, downgraded or lower step, whatever offer, you are immediately and continuously trying to drive them just to the next step. That's it. Yes. You're not trying to take them to home base. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to take them to the
first 2 seconds.
One tick is all we need. We just need to go, you know, you took here, you picked up the phone and you called Dos Bros. That is the first base. We are here. My second base is to get you to an order with an additional something. Like, if I was Dos Bros, I would say your objective as a phone order taker would be the fact that you are taking the order and that you are trying to facilitate that order. You know, you want to help them from A to B, but your goal is to get them to buy something, an add-on that they never planned on actually taking. Like, that's your goal. Like, if you can do a $19 order with and get them to buy a $3.94 bag of chips and nachos or some shit like that they never planned on actually buying, it's a success.
Times 50 people, that's $150 extra that you would have not gotten had that person simply not said anything. Had they simply been quiet and take the order, that would have been nowhere.
Let's carry with that. $150 a day times 7 days a week, because these suckers ain't.
There you go. Yeah, times 7. What is that?
7 days. So I mean, it's 7.
11,500.
1,100. Is that right? 1,100 a week times 4. Let's just roll with it. 1,100, because you're gonna get some that don't work out. 1,100 times 4. That's $4,400 a month. Times 12. That's like 6,000. What was it? $5,000. What's
look, so 7 times 150 is 1,050. So 1,050 a week times 4. $4,200 of missed revenue. Missed revenue. Times 12 for the year. $50,400
off of missed revenue. Bag of nachos, man.
Missed revenue if they say no. Gained revenue if they say yes.
Off a bag of damn chips and salsa.
For this example, bro,
chips, $50,000 a year.
I mean, we just did the numbers. And you know what, Will? This example, it's screaming John Taffer. You know who he is? John Taffer from Bar Rescue.
Oh yeah.
He Oh my God, Will, it's crazy that you just said it. You literally just repeated what he talks about. People, when you come in, the first thing is you have to establish, are they the first time or are they frequent? If they're a first time, you have to get them in there and you have to make sure that they come back again. And then you got to make sure that you upcharge it. Hey, you like the chicken? Great. You got to try my pie. Right? Like, it's so simple, but you have to ask it. It's like McDonald's. You want to supersize it? Okay, I want fries. Great. You want large fries? Well, now that you mentioned it, sure, why not? It's the fact that you have to throw it in there and ascend it.
You read my mind. So the one thing I was going to say is like you said, it's my chicken. You like it.
You like the chicken? You got to try my pie.
Exactly. And so what that is, that's kind of like a funny way of leading into it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're leaning into the upsell, and the guy that comes to my mind when you were talking, have you seen that guy that cleans like with the cleaner? He's a salesman and does a cleaner, and he has
but he's funny, right? He's like a comedic when he does it.
And be like, this thing here make you whiter than something, and he make your shoes whiter than something. Michael Jackson on something, and he cleans it, and he'll say this right here to make your stains go away quicker than O.J. Simpson and something. I mean, right?
He's funny.
And that guy sells. And if I owned a restaurant, what I would do is I would teach my people, whether it's the hostess, whether it's the the person that's actually
Kenny
delivering.
Brooks, that's his name.
Who?
Kenny Brooks.
Kenny Brooks.
He's the black salesman comedian. That's what it's titled as right now.
It's so slick about what he does is that I would literally have my hostess to be like, hey, welcome to Dos Bros. How are you? How many in your party? And they say 4. Oh, okay. And I would literally like teach them to drop a bunch of shit right in front of them as they turn to walk them. But I'm sorry, that's just a bunch of our specials we got on right now.
That's pretty good.
You see what I'm saying? And they'll be like, oh no, we're not interested. Okay, no problem. When we get your table, I'm gonna give you another one. What? You know what I'm saying? Like lean into it a little bit. I think that would be so fun, and you would excel your sales. You know what I'm saying? And so
you know what's sad though, man? I'm sorry, but I got to bring this up. I've been to a lot of, previously when I would go out to eat in restaurants, but a lot of waiters wouldn't do that. For example, I'll tell them exactly what I wanted. They'll say, okay, is that it? Great. And turn around and walk right away. Not once did they tell me, hey, since you're trying the Carnitas, really what want to have is this margarita special that we have. It's a new strawberry daiquiri as well.
You know what goes good with Carnitas? Because people that like Carnitas, and I guess this maybe goes back to understanding your people a little bit. What goes good with Carnitas is a good hot sauce, or maybe a good jalapeno. A good pepper, like a good pairing pepper.
Pairing, that's the word. How do you pair it, and how do you complementary pair it?
You know what's phenomenal? We have this sauce that's amazing on Carnitas. Would you like to try it? You know what? Yeah, I would. You know what? Come to think about it, though, it's a little warm. Can I get you for a beer too, or a margarita? Which one would you like to have? I'll take the margarita. Good. They're two for $9.99 or one for $4.74. Which one would you like to have? The two. All right. You know what? Your lady looks thirsty too. Can I get her?
She looks thirsty too. That's a good one. Hey, she looks thirsty too.
I literally just upsold them $30 worth of shit in a matter.
That's what you did. That's really what it is. It was an upsell. They were walking in there for 20, and now they're walking out with a 50.
Your cheapest customer is going to be your existing customer. Like that's what you got. People have to understand that. And I'm looking back on my life, like when I first started as a general contractor, and I was so frustrated with contracting because it was so, I called it transactional. Like I would have to put out marketing, make a sale, do a job. Put out marketing, make a sale, do a job.
Oh, you're in the roller coaster. Yeah, where you do the job and then you can't do no anymore, and once it's done, back to marketing. You get another one, you can't do nobody else, back to marketing.
It was just a constant like a train. It was so mechanical, like sale, do sale.
Transaction. It was just all transactional. That's really what it was.
And the thing is, but every customer was a new customer. Like looking back on that,
constant chase. That's what it is. It's a constant chase.
It's a constant chase, a constant new acquisition is what it is. And I look back on it, I'm thinking I was so stupid because at one point in time, we had a real big hailstorm here back in 2011 and stuff, and I was really big into doing roofs and stuff. And so, I mean, at one time I did like 400 customers in 1 year, and I would literally wake up the next day and be like, who's my new customer? Meanwhile, I'm sitting there thinking, now looking back on it, thinking, how stupid was I? Because I had 400 people, prospects, that already knew me, liked me, trust me, paid me.
Paid you. Like, they gave you the money.
I should have called them back and be like, hey, look, I know we just did your roof for you, but I also know, because I'm human, you're human, we live here, like, what are you looking to do to your house? What projects do you have in mind?
Oh, identifying more needs. Hey, do you want an addition? Do you want a new bathroom?
After this roof, you did such a good job on a roof. We've been talking about doing this bathroom, redoing our master bathroom, but we just wasn't sure that you even did anything other than, oh, Lord, I'm a fully licensed contractor. I'm doing roofs because, that's the need in the market right now. I'd be happy to come out and give you a price on your bathroom. Are you looking for granite? Or are you looking for, shaker cabinets? What are you looking? Tell me your designs. Get them involved. That's a sold fucking deal. That's a $12,000 kitchen, master bathroom remodel there.
Let's do the math. You said you had about 200 or 400 in the year.
400. Yeah.
All right, so then let's do 14% of 400. So 14 times 14. Okay, so 56. So if 56
projects say 15,000, easy.
So 56
math
times 15,000. Oh,
don't even say. I'll punch you through the.
It's almost a milli. It's almost a milli. Had you done that? Had you done what you just explained? Go back, try to identify more services, and actually present the offer package. Present an offer. $840,000. $840,000.
Lost revenue.
Lost revenue. Money left on the table. That's what it's called. When people say money left on the table, that's what they mean. Money that could have been taken, but it wasn't.
Just to prove my point even more, literally like a month ago, I had a person that called me. I did a roof for them in 2011. A roof for them in 2011. And they called me about a month ago and said, hey, Mr. Morse, you did a roof for us back in 2011.
Yes.
We're looking to rehab our kitchen and stuff. And we thought about you, and we would really like you to come out and do. How many years ago was that? 2011?
10 years.
10 years ago. 10 years. People remembered who did their damn roof. So don't tell me that people, these people say, oh, well, they don't remember. They're going to. No. 10 years later, they called me and asked me to come do their kitchen. I didn't do it because I'm not doing that anymore. But still, I'm just.
It's the fact that you left such an impression. You left such a quality.
Well, even if you did a half-assed job, like how many people actually know if you do a good job of roofing or not? Like the bottom line is, I did a roof 10 years later, still not leaking. So in their eyes, I did a good job, right? Yes. Or as they know, I put a big ass tarp up there. They don't know. And so the thing is that they knew me, they liked me, they trust me, and they paid me.
Yeah.
If you can get that foursome going right there, that's a sold job. That's money in the bank.
I wanna word it correctly for the people listening. If you can get those 4 pieces, you will have a reoccurring business.
Reoccurring, yeah.
Instead of a constant chase of you always have to go out for your next deal and hopefully you find something, it will be, hey, out of these 400 people, I got 56 rolling back on me, and that will literally supplement me for another 7-8 months.
The words, the fortune is in the follow-up is an understatement.
The fortune is in the follow-up.
The thing is too, is not, every customer, you should automatically be putting them into, and this goes for restaurants and stuff as well. Like they're
business really.
They should automatically be putting them into monthly, if not more frequently, repetition of contacts, and this is where social marketing comes in so well, is because you don't actually have to put them in something in order to interact with them. But still, my thing is that those people, think about what you just did. The numbers you did was 800,000. That was off 1 year. You know what I'm saying?
1 year.
Imagine if I followed up.
And that's at 14%, by the way. That's a 14% recup. That's low. That's really low. That was me like shooting down.
And so here's the way that really looks: is you really looks like you have 400 people, and you're going to have over time, it's going to, you know what I'm saying? Like you almost have like a crosses, because you're going to have over time, you're going to have an immediate amount of people that need other stuff. Might be low, and over time that's going to grow, right? But
And
at
the
the same
referrals they
time,
bring you.
and the referrals, I didn't even think about the
Every
referrals.
person is about 5 to 7
Who do you
referrals per
know?
transaction.
That's the best. Let me tell you the best way to raise capital. Best way to raise capital right
Somebody
now.
calling you.
No, you call them, say, hey, Diego, I got this amazing multifamily project. It's in the heart of a secondary metropolitan, just out of a strong area, got great economical growth.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you know that might be a good fit for this? And you're going to say, wait a minute,
who do I know?
I'm interested. They're like, wait a minute. Yeah, hell, I don't want to tell somebody else about this such a good opportunity. I want this opportunity. You know, I'm interested in it. Oh no, man, I didn't call you for that. Are you liquid? Are you liquid? Yeah, and it just so happens.
That's a good way to get somebody's attention.
And so that's what it goes back to. Is it's like, and same thing with the referrals. Is you could even send out. I mean, I would do this.
Imagine 56, and then each one gave you at least 2 referrals. That would have been an extra 100 clients.
I mean, just imagine if you're a contract or a restaurant or something like that, and you could be like, and they do a lot of this, like refer a friend, blah blah blah. Why wouldn't they do like, hey, who do you know that'd like 20% off their burrito next time they come in? Those
yeah.
Is it you? Question mark. Well, that's me. I want 20% off. Well, hit me up, dude. Forget all this referral shit. I mean, a lot of these, I'm sure you've got them. Refer a friend, get 10% off. Like you're asking me to do your sales for you.
And a lot of people get that referral thing, like, hey, refer somebody and I'll give you like $50. But a lot of people don't even care because it doesn't align with them. It doesn't, like you were talking about, it doesn't strike that chord of they're really helping me out. They're really here for me.
Yeah.
For example, like you just said, for the 20%, that is much better than, hey, if you bring me 5 people, I'll give you $10 on your next thing up. No, I don't care.
And the thing is it's really asking the same thing. You can say, hey, Diego, who do you know that like 20% off their next burrito at Dos Bros?
There you go.
P.S. Is it you? Imagine that email copy. P.S. Is it you? Hell yeah. Click here. It's me.
And worst case scenario, what if they say no? Then all right, they say no. However, they might say, but you know what? My buddy does like it. My buddy loves Mexican food. I don't like Mexican food that much more. I'll send him over. Boom.
That's a good one. I don't like it much, but I know Will does. Will is a Mexican connoisseur. I'm gonna get him to come out here.
Will, and the most important part, had they not asked, they would have not told you, right? You don't ask, you don't know. You don't ask, you don't know. That's really what it is. With the server, you don't ask if they want a daiquiri or a margarita or some hot sauce. You won't get that answer. With businesses, if you don't ask that real estate investor if they're liquid, if they want to invest in a prime investment, they're not going to give you that answer.
No, that's it. I mean, I don't know.
We laid it out, and this is the end of the 4th show of the PPP show. We went through this one. We went through the ringer on this one, man. We went deep. I'm going to summarize what we just talked about. In the beginning, we started off strong, talking about the differences of shopping, how it's, you used to go to the store, you used to get everything, spend 2 hours, 3 hours in there if you have a 4-kid family. And then now it's, you literally spend 30 minutes on the phone, on your couch while you're watching TV. You press the buttons of all the things that you want. You press add to cart, you pay, and they literally load it up for you in your car. You pull up to the parking lot and they load it for you in your car. You don't even have to get down. You don't even have to look at them. You can just say, put it back there. And then now,
don't even look at. I'd tell them that too. I'd say, don't even look at me. don't even look at me. You're not allowed to look at me. Just put it in my damn car. I'd tell them that. Please don't.
God.
I'm doing that next time I roll into Walmart. Please don't look at me. Just put it in my car.
Just go back there.
Please don't look at me.
Oh God, I couldn't even imagine if I was that guy. and then we moved on to the conversation of how technology is changing that, where now if you want to go into the store, you can literally scan it with your phone And instead of waiting that whole long line for the cash register, you literally just do it. It's quick, it's optimal, it's fast, it's convenient. And then we talked about Jeff Bezos, how his stores, they literally have cameras in the shopping carts and they'll scan them when you put them in or remove them when you take them out. That is a shift. That is a paradoxical shift in business. And that has happened in the last 40 years. The past 100 years has been wild. The past 40 has been even more. Imagine the next 10 years. It's unprecedented at the rate of increase of technology and innovation that's going on right now. I mean, we're going to Mars, for Christ's sake. Bro.
We're already there. You see that little rover?
Oh, the rover. Yeah, the rover. We're already at rover. Eventually, a man's going to be there and be like, wow, Lance Armstrong said one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Did you see? I think it was by 2023 or something like that. They're going to have the hotel in outer space. Did you see that?
Oh, the space. Yeah, the space hotel. The ring. A ring. Like, yeah. I mean, and by the way,
they done said it. Like by 2023, you're going to be like up there. Hey,
and then we observed that space hurricane that was dropping down radiation. I saw that as well. And then to tie it back into the conversation, we moved and we graduated to talking about the value ladder or the product ladder or the ascension ladder. There's many different words for it. At the end of the day, it's moving a client or a customer for a product or service from the first level to the second level to the third to the fourth, as high as you can get to them. And we were speaking about different examples: doctors, dentists. We were talking about restaurants. We were talking about how efficient it is when you utilize that model, how efficient it is when you say, hey, I noticed that you like my chicken. Why don't you try my pie and my new drinks? We were showing numbers, realistic numbers, actual case studies. Out of 400 people, had 14% of them come back as a repeat customer. At a 15,000 per average, it would have been an extra $840,000 for that one fiscal year. Imagine how much more he could have implemented having that extra cash flow or that cash reserve on his side. Many businesses are going through the same thing. You are leaving money on the table by simply not applying strategies like this. And how Will was referring to previously, it starts from the top and it has to make its way down. Don't expect your employees or your team members that are on the floor to manually do this or expect them to do it at a constant rate if they're not naturally or not trained to do it. It has to be implemented and it has to be measured. Finally, we talked about observing and perspective. The shift has happened. The pandemic has pretty much smacked everybody in the face that hasn't been smacked already. And it's showing how you have to be, one, anticipating what's going to happen, two, observing the current trends and observing what doesn't work and what will work. And then finally, three, measuring the actual substance of what you're doing. Oh, and then you added a fourth one. What was it? It was anticipate, observe, measure. And then you had to do something else for the business. Wow. I'm drawing a blank. We'll go back and we'll fill it in. And lastly, to tie it all up, Will, I want you to give not good news. I don't want good news. I don't want you to be fluffy. I want you to give an observational. There you go. I want you to say a observation that you have seen with good businesses that you want other businesses that are not currently implementing it to take notice of. What would you say that is? Take a time to let it marinate. But you are in a field where you look at big businesses. I mean, that's really the advantage that people have listening to you right now. That you're in the field of the massive. So what would you say is a good example of something that businesses are not currently doing that need to start taking that into consideration to apply it into the new 2021 market?
I think the biggest thing, I mean, the whole time you were talking, I mean, the one thing that really, like, I literally even thought of a new business while you were talking. It's really kind of twofold, but I think it's kind of all in the same. And so the word that comes to my mind is innovate, meaning that these corporate businesses don't know how to get off their suit and tie ass and get granular with what's happening in their business and innovate off of that. So, for example, the idea that I had when you were talking is that I literally would start right now, and I may even check this out after. I mean, this is how serious I am about this, is I may literally do like, you talk about taking an order for a restaurant.
Taking the order. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A little pad they write on.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, if I was a restaurant owner right now, I would be making them like a little mini script on their pads.
Oh, very.
So that's when they pull it up, they flip it
Going.
up, it's like, "Hello, Mr. Diego." Number one thing I would say is like find out their name. Hi, I'm Will. What's your name? When's the last time you had somebody at a restaurant?
You know what? That's true. I have not. Wow, that's actually a really interesting point. I never had a like, "Hi, my name is Amy. What's your name?"
What's your name?
I've just had, "Hey, my name is Amy. I'm gonna be your host or your server today.
Yeah.
What would you like to start to drink?" That's usually how it
So
starts.
I would say, I'd literally say, "Hey, this is Will," or "Hi, I'm Will. What's your name?"
Oh, we're role playing. Oh, my name is Diego. Nice to meet you, Will.
Nice to meet you as well, Diego. What can I get you to drink today?
Man, I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. I'm not that thirsty, but let's start off with an iced tea. No ice, please.
No ice on your iced tea? Okay, sounds great. You know what? There's one
Have
thing
you heard that joke before?
What's that?
He's like, "Yeah, give me an iced tea with no ice." So it's just
Oh,
fucking.
yeah, I was already thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would literally have it scripted out to where it's like, "Oh, I like iced tea." You know what? That's awesome. You know, I love iced tea. You know what goes really good with iced tea? What's that? Long Island. Would you like one?
Oh, that's
No,
interesting. You know what? I will say this, Will. That is not something that you usually hear at a restaurant. And I go to a lot of restaurants, man. That's not something like, "Oh, you like tea? Let me throw you the most expensive thing that we have at you, an iced a Long Island."
And if they're like, "Oh no, I don't do that," I'm just kidding. No problem. Would you like to start with any appetizers or anything? And then, like I said from the get go, hopefully you've been prepped, because a lot of this stuff is prepped as well.
Yes.
And you're like, "When I get you an appetizer?" Well, when the hostess dropped them cards up there, I seen that the cheese sticks were half off. Is that right? Not only are the cheese sticks half off, but the potato skins are 25% off. When I get you both of them. And all this be on a script, because that's the thing is like these companies.
It's offering. Okay, let's use the words I use: packaging, offering, or packaging, presenting, and offering.
Yeah, but here's what I see. Okay, talking about, you asked me a question about what do I see with big businesses. Big businesses are not willing to invest in their people enough. I guess really that's it. Like, I was going to try to finish that out, but that's it.
Investing in their people in what area? What specific area?
In training. Like they don't
training.
They don't appreciate the person that's actually bringing the freaking dollars into the business. They don't appreciate them on that scale. So I'm saying, like, if I was a restaurant owner, my most important like thought process would not be like the end of the day, like the numbers, as like put yourself in like a chief executive officer. I mean, I'm talking about like big corporation, like let's talk
B-Dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Dos Bros or Wild Wings, those guys are sitting in an executive office and doing this stuff or whatever. But in reality, what they need to do is they really need to go to the location. They need to get granular on the people that are interacting with the customers, because the transactions are not being made in a corporate office somewhere. They're being made at the table, sitting outside delivering wings. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where the shit's getting made. That's where the value's being created. That's where the money's transacting. Go to where the money's transacting and see how you can innovate, improve, and implement different strategies, trial and error, A/B testing, see what works, see what don't. That's the biggest thing I can say to anybody right now.
Testing. They need to try.
Testing at the proper spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it goes back to like oil, digging for oil or whatever. Like, you can dig and oil and test and all that shit anywhere you want to in the world, right? But you actually need to be digging and testing for oil or whatever in places that have freaking oil, right? Or yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. And so I think they need to go and they need to do a better emphasis on their people. They need to do better training on they need to provide better training. And like, if I was owning a restaurant right now, I would know who my people are, and all this tying back into building value. It works both ways. Not only are you trying to sell something, but if you want to attract quality people, why not implement a sales program that's going to help your servers not only
Yeah.
exceed the industry that they're in, but you're also teaching them sales training that's going to help them advance beyond serving tables at Wild Wings. Why wouldn't you do that?
That right there in itself translated, I would put it translated across multiple industries in this way. Your people, your team is number one. It has to be your primary focus, because if they're not working, the mission is not going to get completed. You're not going to get the sales. The doors aren't going to be open. Number two, when you actually have those people, you want to have quality people, quality hires, and you want to give quality training, quality information, quality. What would you say is the streamlined process of getting somebody from average to great?
I mean, experience is the simple hands-on experience. That bottom line, people learn the best by doing. And so if you give somebody the right tools and put them in the situation, they will come out with a learned outcome. Bottom line, like tools, situation equals outcome. I mean, I swear, I think that's it. So like, it don't matter if you're going into battle and you have an M16, or if you're going in battle with a knife, you're going to come out of that outcome with a learned result. Don't
go to gunfight with a knife, man. I'll tell you that.
But you're going to come out of it with a learned result, right? And then you improve, implement and improve. Same thing with waiting tables. If I was a waiter, and I never have waited tables, never done anything like that. But if I was, the one biggest tool that somebody could give me, especially, I mean, I'm putting myself like just off job shadowing, my first day by myself, got my pen, got my little flipper thing with my paper. Like, I'm there, I'm ready. The biggest thing you could give me was a script, or at least a reminder or something that's going to put me back on track. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to literally, when we're done with this, I'm going to start a freaking company and call it restaurantscriptpads.com. And you're going to literally be able to order pads with pre-scripted shit on there, to where it says, you know, whatever. And a script don't have to be word for word. A lot of people, I think a lot of people confuse a script with just
guidelines. That's what it is. It guides you throughout the process, and it helps you if you get lost. Like, oh, where am I? Oh, I should be here.
Even just something as simple as like bullet points. It's a reminder is what a script is for me. So like when I speak or when I do something, a lot of times I like to flow natural, right? But I do have key points, you know what I'm saying? Like key things that I want to cover, or things to where, because I'm real bad about drifting, you know this. So like I can get off on subject, but if I was sitting here and I was and I kind of feel them, you know what else we have? Amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like it ties you right back into it. You know? Like, I mean, and that would be the biggest thing. Putting myself.
That's what it is.
Would be a script, or a something that they can have with them that's every day, that they can count on. And then I would even have notes. And then at the end of the day, I would have the manager, the bar manager, whoever come around and be like, hey, look, let's compare notes. What can you do better? What worked? What didn't work? What can we do next time? You know what I'm saying? Like you're
implementing. I'm going to put a smile on your face. You know what's another word for a script?
What's that?
A system.
System. Exactly.
That's really what it is, man.
Here's what we're going to do. Do me a favor. When you cut all this out and let's cut this little section. We're going to take this part. Wild Wings. Those bros are going to know who we are. And I think we need to go in and we need to implement them on their training systems. Like we need to implement them on a sales. We need to implement systems that help them, increase.
That's what it is, man. At the end of the day, a script is you holding a system to somebody and saying, make sure you get the entree, make sure you get the upsell, and verify if you can get them coming back. Like, hey, do you guys love it? Did you like the service? Great. Come back next Friday because we're going to have an even better meal for you guys ready. And just come back and ask for me. I mean, that's follow-up. That's a follow-up. You're getting them back into the business for a repeat purchase.
I mean, it just goes on like when you create this ecosystem. Hey, I'm Will. What's your name?
My name is Diego.
Hey, Diego. I'm Will. Oh, now we know each other. Yeah. Guess what you think about when you want to go to Mexico next time? You're going to think about coming and seeing Will down at Dos Bros because he knows my name. He's the only that I've ever seen that asked me my name when I went to the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And it goes and it's universal. Don't just for you guys listening, don't just get boxed into the restaurant. This is just one industry.
Because I'm looking at, I'm hungry.
It is universal. Every business needs systems. Every business needs systems of how to get from A to B. And more importantly, if you want to be able to measure it and optimize, you need to be able to have uniformity across all aspects. I was even telling Will when he said, "Hey, my name is Amy. What's your name?" I'm like, I couldn't remember any time going to a restaurant where they actually asked me that. And had they asked me that, what a different response it would have been, and what a bigger tip they would have had, because they didn't know me, they didn't care about me. They just wanted the tip at the end of the thing, and they just wanted to do their job. They didn't even ask me, "How was your day? How was your day, sir? Was it good? It was all right. All right, you're gonna feel way better after I bring you this Long Island IT, baby." You know what I'm saying?
If you're in the restaurant business right now, if anybody's listening to this, you just say, "Hey, I'm Will. What's your name?"
My name is Diego. Nice to meet you, Will.
"Hey, Diego, you know what? It's super hot out here. I'm going to get you a water on me. I'll have it out here in just a second." And you'd be like, "Oh my God."
There you go, man. It's water. It's water. It's free. I can get anywhere. But it's the fact that he's going out of his way. He's being intentionally the best kind of person in that position. I'm going to meet your needs.
I'm going to start doing that.
Man, that's talk.
I'm going to get a job just so I can use this shit. I'm going to Dos Bros, get a job here. I'm going to go wait tables. Hey guys. Prosting this shit out because I want to see if it works now. I'm curious.
You know what?
They ain't got nobody over there. It's here this Friday. They ain't got nobody over there. They need help.
We got to project this. And that being said, wraps up the conversation and the show. Numero cuatro. We are officially on the 4th episode, which means that we are in momentum. We have momentum. We're going to get even better. We're going to start getting guests coming in. I have 2 people lined up already. I'm not going to tell Will who they are because I want it to be a surprise for him. So it's going to be fun. And for all of you guys listening, we're going to do the last wrap up in the summary. We talked about a lot of different things today. 3 primary things that we talked about: how the shift of business is actually coming about, how the shift in economic turnout is actually happening due to the pandemic. What are the things that we are seeing differently? So for example, the value ladder from before and after. And then finally, for the last piece, how can you differentiate how do you say it? Differentiate yourself? There you go.
I
can't. That's a big word. That was a $10 word. How do you shine amongst everybody else? There you go. And then lastly, the systems. Will was talking about scripts, which is another word for a system. What kind of systems in your business are not being utilized to the full capacity? And how can you turn them around? How can you optimize it so that you can get the money on the table? Don't ever leave that money on the table. Utilize it. And with that being said, my name is Diego Rodriguez, and I'm here with Will the Thrill. And we will see you guys on the next one. Tune in for the next episode, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.